Hello and welcome to Module 17, which is our data access with cursors in ArcPy. This module is going to be broken up into two parts. The first part you're going to work on this week, and that's what I'm going to go over with you in this video today. And then the second part is what you will complete in the next week. So there'll be a separate video that will introduce you to that course material. So in this module, we are going to learn about cursors. And cursors are how we get into the data and actually start to update the data. So there are three cursors in the ArcPy package. They are search cursors, insert cursors, and update cursors. We're going to learn about all three of those. This week we're going to be focused on specifically search cursors and update cursors. So as always, you come down here and you can see what all of our objectives are going to be. All of our cursors live in what's called the data access module, which is a module you've worked with before when we looked at the describe function. So the describe function was a part of the data access module as well. And you're going to learn how all of these cursors are called within that particular module. So if we come down here and click into next to get into what you're responsible for this week, first thing is just an overall introduction to cursors in general. So make sure you do the reading here and listen to the video. Next, you're going to learn specifically about the search cursor. So the search cursor is how we get into our data, how we get into the tables and just look around. Search cursors are read only. We can't change our data, but we can get in there and speculate and look around and print out to ourselves what types of things are in our data. For these modules here, I'm going to have you read portions of Chapter 8 of the textbook. We're not going to go through his Chapter 8 exercise. I have my own exercises that I would prefer that you guys go through, but he has a lot of great information in the textbook. So 8.1 and 8.2 are required reading, and the rest of it's going to be optional as we run across the topics, and I'll let you know when those are. So search cursor here, after you watch the video, you're going to go through a series of activities that are going to replicate the actions, the search cursor actions that you watched happen in the video. So here you need to make sure that you download the data. We are going to be working with the Chapter 8 data set from your textbook. So you need to download this data package, unzip it up. I'll update this because it needs to be in your Module 17 folder. And so you need to make sure that it looks like this with having your exercise 08 at the end there where you have access to the data sets that are in that. For this particular activity, you will be focused on your airports shapefile in that data package. And for the first activity, you are going to work on a script that is going to go through the data and is going to print out all of the airport names in that data set. So you're going to learn the skills that use the skills that you learned in the video up here to then go through a guided scripting experience of writing a script that uses a search cursor that eventually will print out to the end user all of the airport names in that data set. Then your second activity is going to be to update that script that you just wrote. You're going to update that script to then print out a sorted list of all of those airport names. So you're going to go back and review your understanding of the sorted Python method, and you're going to sort an alphabetically ordered list of all of those airport names. And then your final activity for search cursor is that you're going to take that sorted script that you just created and update it once again to include a where clause in your search cursor. So you're going to harken back to your lessons on your SQL queries and how to build proper SQL queries in Python and ArcPy. And you're going to write a script that's going to go through and print out only those records where their names are indicative of being a C-plane base. So your query is going to query out all of those records that for feature are C-plane base, and then your cursor will go through and look in your data and then print out all of their names for you. So what you're going to turn in for this activity then, your search cursor activity is going to be to turn in your final script. That's the script with the underscore query. So it's that final exercise number 3. You're going to turn in the script, and you're also going to turn in a JPEG of the output window that will very clearly show what you're printing out using your search cursor. And that will then lead you into your search cursor assignment. So this is where you're going to take what you just learned in the guided activity, and you're going to create a search cursor, write a script that uses the search cursor to, on the roads shapefile in your exercise 08 folder, to print out only those records where the feature field is principal highway. So you're going to use all of those things that you just learned in the guided scripting experience to write a script for yourself on a different data set, but it prints out all of those records where the feature field is principal highway. So that's what you're going to turn in for your search cursor assignment. After that, you're going to move on to update cursors. So update cursors are how we actually get into our data tables and not just read around in them and print out information, but how you update information, how you edit information. We're not editing geometry right now. We'll do that later with insert cursor. But update cursor allows us to update any of our tabular information, and update cursor is also what allows us to delete records out of our table, which is actually, if you have a GIS data set, you're deleting features as well. So update cursor is what lets us get in and actually put that cursor in our data tables and do some editing. So this first landing page here is just going to be to listen to the video and watch the examples in the video on update cursor. And then you're going to go through a series of activities. And these each have their own individual landing page because you're going to write a separate script each time. So for the first activity for update cursor, you are going to write a script that that updates an existing field for a subset of records within the airport shapefile. Specifically, you're going to query for all of those where the state field is blank, and then if it's blank, you're going to update it to have AK inside of that particular field. And here's the guided scripting experience that's going to walk you through how to accomplish that task. And again, you're going to be keyed into saving out your script and then saving out two separate JPEG images. One that's just your output window from idle or your scripting environment, and the other one which is to go into ArcPro and open up the table and show what the result of your editing actions are. And then you're going to upload all of those into the submission for that particular activity. Then activity 2 is going to be where we learn about concatenation and play with concatenation again. So you're going to write a script that's going to add a new field to your airport's data set and is going to then populate that new field with the concatenation of information from the county and state fields. So this is going to go through again another guided scripting experience on how you write a script that adds that field and uses the update cursor to concatenate other field information into your new field. Again, you're going to be guided to save an image of the output from idle and also get into ArcPro and save an image of the output of your table, of the updated table based upon your most recent script run. And then in the activity submission here, you're going to submit your script, the output image, and the data image as well. Then your third activity for update cursor is you are going to practice with deleting rows from your airport's data set. So you're going to delete all of the rows that identify themselves as seaplane base. So you're going to end up with a data set that has fewer features in it than what you start off with. And this is again going to be a guided scripting experience onto how you do that. And this is going to be what you turn in. You need to turn in these two image files. And then when you get to the submission, you'll see that you need to submit the script and the image from your output in idle, and then also an image of what your data now looks like in ArcPro. Then after that is when you have your update cursor assignment. And your update cursor assignment is to write a script for a different data set for your Alaska shapefile that's in your exercise 08 package. That you're going to, for this data set, what you're going to do is you're going to add a new field, and then you're going to populate that field with the concatenation of the month, day, and year fields that already exist in that data set. So everything that you've learned in update cursor activities 1, 2, and 3 give you the skills to be able to write this script on this particular data set. And down here it tells you what it is that you need to turn in for that assignment. And then you're going to upload that, and then you will land on our dancing snake. So that tells you that you're done for this week. Like I said, there's more information in this module, but that will roll out for you next week. So this week you just need to worry about the search cursor and the update cursor. And as always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and enjoy working with cursors and actually getting able to get in there and edit your data.